Welcome, everyone, to the Artesia City Tournament, and the Hobbs Eagles in play here in the first quarter. We had some technical difficulties, some internet issues. It is tied at 9-9. The Eagles were down early, but Michael Mackey with 8 points here in the first quarter with 5 seconds remaining. And Los Lunas shooting the basketball right before the buzzer, hitting a three-pointer, and nailing it was Holland. So you're going to get 3 quarters of basketball. Unfortunately, sorry for the delay, but Hobbs trailing 9-12 here at the end of the first quarter. This is the semifinal round as the City of Champions tournament going on here in Artesia. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you this afternoon. The winner will play the championship game, and the time is to be determined tomorrow. Artesia's boys and girls automatically get the late games, and we know the Artesia boys are not in the championship, but they're going to get the 7 o'clock game regardless, so that's already been known. Now, how they're going to shift the other games is under question yet. We've been trying to talk to everybody we can to find that out. There's also a third-place game, of course, tomorrow too, Ron, that Hobbs would possibly have to play in if they lose tonight's game right here. But 12-9 game. It looked a little bit going the other way for a while as Los Lunas came out, I think it was 7-zip to start this game, and then, of course, Mackey started to get on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Mackey did light it up, was able to get a couple of trays, as well as he had like 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So far, a good start for the Hobbs Eagles. They need to continue doing so.
Scoring right now is Mackey with 8 points. For the Eagles' cause. And for Los Lunas, they have Jalen Holland, 7, Logan Tafoya, 3, and Ezra Guest, 2. We should mention Jalen Holland, just a sophomore, but he's already got some looks from Ohio State and Texas Tech from what I've heard. So he's very sought after. He's got a couple more years as a Los Lunas Tiger, but definitely a very good player. And the Eagles have a lot of guys kind of swarming on him as we go into this second quarter. So far, the Eagles with a total of 6 rebounds and 6 for Los Lunas. Hobbs with 3 turnovers, none for the Tigers, and 2 fouls apiece at this point. Eagle basketball to start the second quarter. Coming across the timeline is Pena on the right wing. Stop and go. Dribbles behind his back. Fumbled the basketball. Rolls out of bounds. Trying to do a little bit too much on that dribble. Ends up fumbling it out for the 4th Eagle turnover. Definitely got to keep those closed down as much as possible because we had 23 yesterday in Rio Rancho with the same amount of turnovers and still got the 1-point victory. So Eagles are 3-1 despite some very close games the last 3 for Hobbs. In the front court, Holland on the right wing with the jab step. Kicks it up top to Griego. Drives the lane with his left hand. High arching shot off the back of the glass. No good, but a battle for the rebound. Unfortunately, Devin Marquez and Omar Argot didn't realize they were on the same team and ended up flying out of their hands out of bounds on the baseline. So will be Los Lunas basketball on the left base. Holland will check it back top of the arc to Tafoya. Tafoya over left side to Holland. Fight away 3 off the back of the rim. No good. Mackey with the long rebound. His 3rd board of the game. Now into the front court. Dribbles to his legs on the right wing. Backs it out to the near sideline. Double team against him. Comes down to the right corner off the dribble. Cross court left. High one over to Marquez. Uses up the dribble. Now to triple threat position. Gives it up top to Acosta. Acosta comes around the right circle with the dribble himself. Hand off to Marquez on the near sideline. Crossover move down the lane. Fadeaway Jay from the free throw line off the back of the rim. No good. Los Lunas rips it down underneath Isaiah Juarez. Outlet near side. Bringing it across Guest. Top of the circle. He's going to spot up an NBA 3 and off the front of the rim. No good. And Mackey rips down another rebound. He's got 4 to lead the Eagles on the glass and also with 8 points.
He's showing a lot of energy so far in this game.
6:40 remaining in the second. Hobbs down by 3, 12-9. Mackey in the front court, waiting for a screen for Argon on the right wing. Uses it. Jump stop at the right elbow. Throws it down to Argon, but overthrows him to the baseline. It's taken away by Ezra Guest, turnover number 5. He comes down the paint and passes off to Holland, who gets rejected hard and double pump underneath the hoop. It gets slammed down on. So Holland will get a couple of free throw opportunities here on the Eagle foul. So 2 shots for Holland. Looks like going to charge that one to Brian Acosta. That'll be his first, 3rd team foul against the Eagles. Correction, 5th team foul against the Eagles. And that'll put Holland on the line. Tigers have not shot a free throw yet in the game, and this one, a lot of reverse spin on the basketball, but Holland gets it to drop. He leads the Tigers now with 8 points. Of course, the Eagles defeating Rio Rancho last night, yesterday morning, I should say, 43-42. And boy, a nail-biting game. 8 for 9 on the free throw line with the Eagles, 88%, their best of the season. Second shot's up and good for Holland. He's got 9 points. 14-9, though. Hobbs down by 5. 6:25 remaining here in the second quarter of the semifinals of the Artesia tourney. Coming across the timeline is Pena. Unloads to the left wing. Driving hard, Vega to the far side. Bounce pass up top to Acosta. And he'll give it over to the right to Pena. Being guarded by Griego. Pass up top to the knees and feet of Mackey. It's going to get booted out of bounds on the far sideline and from the scores table. Low pass that time and behind Mackey for turnover number 6. That's definitely a glaring difference right now, Ron. 6 turnovers for Hobbs, 0 for Los Lunas. Coach Reeves talked about that after the game last night, that he definitely wants to see some improvement in taking care of the basketball.
Yeah, you got to do this early on. You got to take care of the ball and do it often as you can.
Guest into the front corner from the Hobbs Eagle bench on the right side. Stop and go and then backs it out. Coach Reeves shouting some orders to the defense. Kicks it up top to Thomas Ordonez. Coming back from behind, Ed Guest to get the handoff. Over to Griego behind him on the right wing. Jab step as he's guarded by Pena to the top of the circle. Kicks it down to the left corner to Guest. Drives baseline with a scoop shot high and an air ball. Big board there for Omar Argot. He gets crashed on. A foul going to be called on Los Lunas. That's Thomas Ordonez, his first, 3rd team foul against the Tigers.
Yeah, that shot went over the hoop and went to the other side. Not even a chance at making it in.
The Eagles yesterday had 11 points from Abraham Pena. He nailed 2 3-pointers, went 3 for 4 from the line, and Michael Mackey with 9 in the game. He had 7 in the first quarter, but didn't score until the until the fourth quarter. He ended up with a couple of free throws and went 5 for 5 on the line. Those are the only 2 top scores for the Eagles. Chisholm had an 8 for the Cause as well. Hobbs basketball in the front court. Pena underhands it up top, firing away. Is a nice shot on the rim for Vega, and it stays in the cylinder for a tray. Vega came off the bench for 2 trays yesterday, and he is just a freshman. Talk about a big boost off the bench and a starter in this game. Coach Reeves sending a message. You're going to play hard. You're going to get your chance to start. Going down the lane is Holland on a spin move. He gets bodied as he comes down the lane. The Eagles going to get the foul before the shot. He had a clean sweep to the hole that time, but luckily the foul is going to stop a chance for an easy 2 on that one.
Yeah, that was a nice move. He got it inside the basket, but like you said, the foul negated the basket.
Going to be charged to Vega, his first, 6 team fouls. The Tigers are 1 away from the bonus. Eagles have gotten 3 fouls against Los Lunas at this point. 5:02 left, second quarter, high inbound to the top of the circle to Tafoya. Kicks it off to the left wing. Griego with an NBA 3 off the side of the rim, no good. Ball loose, kicked back out to Griego, his 4th board. Sends it down left corner to Guest. 3 is off the back of the iron. Pulled down and a good elbow rip there by Braylon Vega on the left block, his first rebound. Outlet to the near side. Pena gets a screen from Argot, doesn't use it. Comes to the top of the arc, swings around to the left side of the circle. In front of the Tiger bench, gets stripped from behind, and taking it away is Guest, the 7th Eagle turnover. He throws it ahead to big-time Holland, and he slams it with 2 hands over the right side of the rim for the dunk. Holland now with 11 points, leading both teams, and Coach Reeves wants to talk to the troops. Still just a 4-point lead for Los Lunas, 4:25 remaining second quarter. Tigers up 16-12 over the Eagles, coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back here at the Bulldog Pit in Artesia for the Tournament of Champions. Here's the Hobbs Eagles taking on Los Lunas. These 2 teams in the semifinals after winning their first games. In fact, Los Lunas pulling out a 1-point victory in that matchup with Carlsbad yesterday. That was an exciting game as well. And, of course, the Eagles winning by 1, too. Carlsbad coming from the same Eagles district, of course. 53-52 was the score yesterday for Los Lunas getting that victory. Eagle basketball after the timeout as Vega brings it across. Throws the ball behind Caleb Lehman, who had just checked in for another Eagle turnover. That's number 8. An unforced error, you'd call that in baseball. 4:15 remaining here in the first half. A quick-moving first half of semifinal action. Ezra Guest with the ball now as he comes across the timeline. He's guarded by Vega. Stop and go dribble to the right wing over near the Hobbs Eagle bench. Bounce pass up top to Aragon. Gives it over to Holland on the left side. He gets led over by Michael Mackey's defense. Mackey Keelan chest to chest. Fadeaway jumper for Holland at the top of the free throw line. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by Acosta, but gets stripped for the ninth turnover. On the right wing with the ball as Guest comes down the lane. Shot from the free throw line right through the net. Guest now with 4 points. There's 7 seniors returning to this Los Lunas team, and so they definitely got some experience on the court. They lost in the second round, the quarterfinals of the state playoffs last year to Cleveland. Pass down to the left wing for Vega, goes baseline, 15-footer and puts it through the hole. So the freshman gets some big-time duty early for the offense of the Eagles. He's got 5 points. 18-14, Hobbs still down by 4. Coming across the timeline is Guest. Comes down the lane off the dribble left. Kicks it left corner for Aragon's 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Tipped up on the left block by Juarez. It won't drop, and there is big man Argot throwing his football shoulders around and pulls down his second rebound. Across the timeline to Vega. Stop and go. Handoff on the near sideline to Lehman. He gets stripped, and Holland's going to go the other way. At the sidewinder dunk around the right side of the rim, going left to right. He's fouled. Not a chance to pull the trigger to pull that across the rim and dunk it, but probably a good foul to stop him there. Hobbs got to do a better job at taking care of the basketball on the perimeter. Too much dribbling is getting some strips. We've already seen 2 of those recently as they get the foul on Lehman. That's his first, the 17th foul. That puts Los Lunas in the bonus the rest of the half. Not much time left, though, at 2:55 in the second. Free throws up and good for Holland. He's perfect, has all 3 of the Tiger free throws, 3 for 3 on the line, and now with 12 points to lead both teams. Eagle top scorer so far, Mackey with 9. 5 for Vega coming off the bench, the freshman. Those 2 are the only 2 have scored so far. Waiting the second free throw for Holland. Shot is up, and it's off hard off the back of the rim. Rebound by the Eagles, Devon Marquez, who just checked in, his second. He'll bring it across the timeline, gives to Mackey on the right wing. He'll spot up an NBA 3 off the side of the iron, over the top of the backboard, and pulling it down is Holland, his 3rd rebound. Tries to dribble through pressure there. Had a couple of defenders on him for the Eagles. They're going to call a push-off foul on the big kid as he threw an arm on Caden Hall, and also in the area, too, is Parker Henderson. So they're going to get Holland with his first 14th foul, and he was trying to weave through traffic near the timeline. Coach Julian not liking the call as it's jawing the official right now on the baseline. Eagle basketball down by 5 with 2:40 left, second quarter, 19-14. Devon Marquez with the basketball. Throws a hard one down to Mackey in the left corner. Now with the jab step, goes baseline and backs it out. Gets a screen from Hall. Kicks it up top to Parker Henderson. Dribbles to the near side. Ball tipped out of his hands. Picked up by Vega to the free throw line, but he tried to get a grip on it. And his feet kind of stumbling forward for the travel. Eagles with 11 turnovers now, 0 for Los Lunas, but still a close ball game, a 5-point deficit.
It is. Considering how all these turnovers are happening for the Hobbs Eagles, you're right. It is a close game.
As the Tigers inbound to the backcourt, Ezra Guest will have some time to bring it across as he'll be guarded by Vega in the half-court D. Sends it over to Holland on the left wing, guarded by Mackey. Jab step, triple threat. Unloads it off to the left side and a spin move now by Ordonez. Goes to the rack with a hook shot, misses off the back of the rim. Put back up over the front by Tafoya. He can't get it to drop, and Henderson comes down with his second rebound. Outlet to Mackey on the far sideline. Underneath 2 minutes left, second quarter. Hippity hop down the lane, ball knocked out of his hands. Goes back up with it on the fade on the left block. Is knocked to the floor. Count the basket and the foul. Mackey with his 5th rebound of the ball game, 11th point as well, and a chance for a 3-point play. That's going to be the Tigers' 5th team foul as they charge that one to Tafoya. Second personal on him. He'll take a seat as well as Thomas Ordonez. And the Eagles will get a couple subs in here as Pena returns, as well as Argot. Henderson and Vega will take a seat for the Eagles. 1:53 left here in the second. Hobbs only down by 3 now after a bucket by Mackey and a chance for a 3-point play now. 19-16. Shot is up and a swish for Mackey. He's 2 for 3 from the line, has 12 points. 19-17 with 1:50 left in the half. Coming across the timeline is Holland, guarded by Mackey. Oh, he shoves off with a shoulder, another push-off. That's the second one he's been hit with, and Coach Julian's going to have to go to the bench. Holland now with 2 fouls, the 6th against the Tigers. And Holland just getting frustrated, now having words for the official as his coach takes him out of the ball game and get kind of a hot head over there on the sideline for Los Lunas. Coach Julian kind of talked to the official, and it was pretty obvious on that one. That shoulder completely extended to knock into the Hobbs Eagle defender. 19-17, Hobbs down by 2, could tie it up or take a lead. Pena with the ball right wing. Alley-oop back door to the left is knocked out of bounds to the far left sideline. Good punch on the basketball in the air by Isaiah Aragon. Mackey was going back door, trying to get up over the rim, but the ball not getting to his hands quick enough. Marquez, the inbound in front of the Tiger bench on the far left sideline in the front court. Gets it into Pena into the half-court line as he comes around the right. On the dribble. Crossover, screen. Oh, we got an illegal screen. Moving the body is Argot. Kind of leaned into his defender that time and just kind of chested him forward. That was Galeo Griego, the man he confronted. So that'll get a foul on Argot, his first. 8th team foul. That is a team control, so they won't shoot any free throws, but that is a 12th turnover as well. 1:20 left in the second, still 19-17. The Tigers drive to the free throw line, a cradle and a shot on the run off the back of the rim and the glass there for Griego, but he gets a body foul called against the Eagles, so he'll get a chance for a few free throws here. That'll be the 9th on the Eagles as they'll charge that one to Caden Hall. That's his first. On the charity stripe, Griego has not shot a free throw. The team, the Tigers, are 3 for 4, all coming at the hands of Jalen Holland, who's sitting on the bench with 2 fouls now. First free throw, a swish for Griego. First point of the ball game for him. Los Lunas with 4 scores so far and just 2 for the Eagles. Of course, we mentioned 12 for Mackey and 5 for Vega. Second shot bouncing off the rim a couple of times, no good. Pulled down by Hall, his first rebound, outlet and given off to Pena. Pena bringing it across the timeline, guarded by Griego. Gives over to Mackey on the left wing. Looking for some rotation on the offense now. Hesitation dribble, uses it up, spinning, looking for help. Coming back to the timeline to get it is Pena. Clock to 58. Over to right wing to Marquez with a jab step. Screen from Argot. Goes to the rack, a spinner move, and throws it up, and it rolls around and goes through for Devon Marquez, his first bucket. 20-19. Some of you might know him as Devon Ruiz. He did change his last name recently. Everybody been calling me and say, who are you calling out there on the game? It is Devon Marquez. In the scorebook that way too, folks, I promise. Did check with him earlier today to make sure. In the front court is Guest. He'll give it back top of the circle to Griego. Jab step. Kicks it off to the right wing to Juarez. Clock down to 28. Eagles down by 1, the closest part of the game so far, besides 0-0. Up top of the arc to Guest. He'll back it out to the timeline, guarded by Caden Hall. To the right wing, dribbles behind his back, jump stop, was going to shoot, decided against it. Bad pass down the lane, taken away by Devon Marquez for the first turnover for the Tigers. Down to Mackey on the left block, gets the ball knocked out of his hands as he tries to wrap around to Caden Hall on the right block in the lane. Ball was punched out by the Tigers, so Eagles will have it underneath their hoop. Down by 1 with 9.1 seconds, and I like how the Eagles have clawed their way back into this, Ron.
Oh, yeah, it was just a chip away. Just keep going, keep making the better plays, and here we are, 1-point game.
Marquez on the left base, throws it in right corner to Pena. Fadeaway jumper, bounds off the back of the rim, loose underneath the bucket, and we got bodies flailing. Rebound is put down by Argot up top to Mackey. Swing right for Pena at the buzzer. A 3. Are they going to count it? We'll have to wait and see.
No, it wasn't. It didn't count.
We're going to have the referees conference about it. Nice shot there for Pena, but I think it was a little late. Nope, they're going to wave it off. Argot did a good job of going to the floor to get the board on that one, but fortunately they didn't get the ball around the perimeter quick enough for that shot to go before the buzzer. But nice stroke there for Pena. Unfortunately, does not count. That is going to be your halftime. A close ball game. Los Lunas up by just 1 point, 20-19 over your Hobbs Eagles. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle halftime show live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Welcome back to the Bulldog Pit. It's time for more Hobbs Eagle basketball second half action. Los Lunas leads the Eagles 20-19. And, of course, coming live here from Artesia, New Mexico, the City of Champions tournament. Ty Friend and Ron Gunner with you as the Eagles with a 1-point deficit. In fact, they were actually down at the end of the first quarter, 12-9. Eagles have outscored Los Lunas 10-8 in the second quarter to get back in the contest. Leading for Los Lunas, a total right now of 12 points is Jalen Holland. He had to sit down late in the second quarter due to his second foul. Both of them for offensive push-offs. He gets frustrated when he's got a couple defenders on him, and Hobbs is always known to being fly-on-fly paper here. They're right on top of you.
Exactly, and if you can't handle that, then it definitely will throw off your rhythm as well as make you cause you to make some stupid mistakes like he did with those couple of those fouls.
And he's not making friends with the referees either after not getting those two offensive push-off fouls. He had some jawing for the officials, so he's not going to be in their good book in the second half possibly. Ezra Guest, 4 points, second leading scorer so far. Logan Tafoya with 3 points off a tray, and Galeo Griego has 1 for 2 on the line for 1 point. Los Lunas has hit 2 3-pointers in the first half, and currently in terms of free throws, they are 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, so not too bad there on the free throw line so far in this ball game. In terms of rebounds, their leader is Galeo Griego. He's got 4. They have a total of 11 boards so far in the first half. And just 1 turnover for Los Lunas. That's been a big difference so far as we progress throughout this game. Your Hobbs Eagles are led by Michael Mackey. He's got 12 points and 5 rebounds. And, boy, he had a major first quarter. Eagles were down early. I think it was 7-zip, and he really came on fire. Ended up hitting 2 trays in the first part of that first quarter and getting the team back in it. Had 9 points in that first quarter. Added 3 in the second off a 1-for-1 free throw shot. And was also a total of 2 for 3 on the line for that first half of action. So he leads with 12. Coming up behind him, Braylon Vega coming off the bench. The freshman hit a tray. Also another bucket, has 5 points. He also got a start tonight. No, he didn't get a start tonight. He came off the bench. He has ended up with 1 basket for 2, and he had 2 rebounds. That's only 3 scores for the Eagles, Mackey, Marquez, and Vega. Top rebounder is Mackey with 5, and they've had a total of 15 rebounds, again, compared to 13 for Los Lunas, so they do lead in that category at this point. Hobbs, though, big differential is the turnovers. 12 total for them and just 1 for Los Lunas, but as usual, the scoreboard is close, 20-19, and the Eagles have got some wins, even though they've had big numbers of turnovers, 23 last night against Rio Rancho.
Yeah, I mean, you win and lose sometimes from turnovers, but you can have a lot of turnovers just by having it a couple of times. Lose it, gain it back again, and it doesn't really account until you get those points against you. Once you have to start fighting those, then, of course, then it's an uphill battle on both sides, keeping the ball and making sure that you get back into the game. But right now, it seems to be that Hobbs has adjusted a little bit in the second quarter. Going to see how their adjustments go on as this third quarter is about to begin.
And what a good thing I'm noticing, too, like you mentioned, when you have a turnover, you're not just going to close the tent down and say we're done. I mean, you're going to go back and play defense and might get it back, and that's important we've seen in this game. The Eagles did play Los Lunas twice last year. One was in the tournament championship right here in Artesia. Eagles winning big in that one, 58-31, a 27-point victory. Now, it's kind of a role reversal this year. Last year, the Eagles were heavily put together with seniors, and now this year it's the opposite. Los Lunas has got 7 returners, and the Eagles just one that had a lot of time last year. That was Michael Mackey, but still Hobbs with a 27-point victory in the first game, which was at this Artesia tournament. Then later on, the Eagles played Los Lunas at home at Tasker Arena. 65-54 was the win there for the Eagles, just by 11 in that one. So Los Lunas did get a lot more production in that game. That was a long road trip for Los Lunas, but the Eagles are going to have to return the favor this year because they will be going to Los Lunas as part of a Los Lunas Cleveland trip coming up in January.
Yeah, so it's going to be happening on the 13th of January. You're right about that. It's going to be a tough one. But right now we just got to focus on this game as far as getting back into it. You know, the last time these two played, which was on the 14th of this year, it was 26-26 was the tie. Hobbs was able to eke out a win with 65-54 like you mentioned.
Yeah, so definitely Los Lunas is a team that wants to make it to the tournament. They did lose in the quarterfinals last year, but they're playing the Eagles very tough in this one. We just get the third quarter underway. Your Eagles down by 1, 20-19. Holland with the basketball. One-hand pass over to the left wing to Griego. Fires up a 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Loose and tapped around. Bonnie's going on the floor for it. Demon Marquez diving. He had a head-on collision last night against Rio Rancho, but it's taken down for Los Lunas. We got a player down as well. Finally picking it up was Galeo Griego, his 5th rebound. And the injured Tiger that they stopped the action for was Logan Tafoya. And it looks like he might have got hit in the nose or something. He's going to be going out of the game. And substitution coming in for him, Isaiah Aragon. Los Lunas will do a stack on the far left sideline as he get a one-hander into Holland. Out near the time stripe. He'll take on Mackey. Mackey at the top of the circle, giving him a little bit of a cushion. Come back to get the ball. It's Griego. Kicks it off to the left wing to Aragon. Back deep to the timeline of Guest and keeps over the right side to Holland. To the right sideline, pivoting with the ball is Guest. Cross court left. Ball loose as Devon Marquez comes away at the steal. That'll be the second Tiger turnover. Comes into the front court, falls to the floor, and lost the ball right down the lane to Holland for the Eagles' 13th turnover. Holland comes down the lane, hippity-hop, goes reverse left, and scores off the glass. Nice push shot to the middle of the backboard that time for Holland. He's got 14. 22-19, a three-point Los Lunas lead. Marquez in the front court. Takes the dribble left, hands off to Mackey, comes around the circle right side, and dishes to Pena in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Up top to Argot. Argot takes a lefty dribble. Tries to bounce it back door, but lost control of the ball, and a loose in the lane is taken away as Ezra Guest. 14th turnover. Down to Holland on the right side. Hippity-hop gives it back to the right elbow to Guest up top. Reset to Griego, and back to the right side to Guest. Guest with a stop-and-go dribble, crossover move, and hook it on his arm was Marquez that time. He's kind of keeping with him pretty good there for a second. Then he started switching directions left to right, and that caused him to hang on for just a second too long. That's Marquez's second personal. First team foul here in the second half for the Eagles. Inbounding on the near sideline is Griego. Gets it into Holland. Top of the circle with the bounce pass to the left wing to Juarez. Hand off behind him on the left to Guest. Cross court right to Holland. Spots up an NBA three off the front of the rim, no good. Blue crashing there on the left block by Juarez to pull it down. Back out to Holland again for a three on the right side. He's not afraid to shoot. And another rebound by Juarez, two in a row. This one going up strong with two hands on the left block and is fouled. Hobbs not getting the block out underneath on the rebounds. And boy, I can't believe after you miss a tray, you turn around and just shoot another one after your team gets it out to you. But Holland's one of their best players on this squad, but didn't distribute the basketball in that second attempt. So getting on the line will be Juarez. That was the third foul on Argot, and the second team foul. First miss off the back of the rim for Juarez. He's 0 for 1 for the charity stripe. Los Lunas is now 4 of 7 from the line as they lead by 3. Second shot for Juarez is up and good. He's got his first point of the ball game. Substitution for Coach Julian and the Tigers. Logan Tafoya comes on. Has taken a seat will be Isaiah Aragon. Inbounding on the right baseline in the backcourt for Hobbs, Braylon Vega, the freshman. A chance to talk to his dad after the game. He was very excited to see his youngster out on the court here and get some big time tonight. Mackey with the basketball in the backcourt. Gets a double team as he comes across, dribbling behind his back. Cross court left is Vega for three off the side of the rim. Pulled down underneath by Argot. Puts it up top to Pena. Fires up a three. It comes off the back of the iron. No good. And chased down on the far side by Guest as he dribbles in the front court. Lost the basketball, taken away by Mackey for turnover number 3. He goes to the rack with the left hand, is hit hard as he goes up. Smacks the ball out of the air, but gets the foul call, so Mackey will get a chance for 2 free throws. Argot, by the way, with 4 rebounds on that previous play. They'll get the foul called on Holland. That's his third personal. Good news for Hobbs Eagle fans listening right now. He's their top scorer on the season. In fact, against Carlsbad last night, that 1-point win, Holland had 21 points, but he wasn't even the top scorer. Griego was with 22. Those two combined for 43 in their 1-point victory, 53-52 over Carlsbad.
So far, you've noticed the tempo has changed. It's gotten a little more upbeat since yesterday.
Mackey's first free throws, hard off the rim, but somehow gets that umph to go over the iron into the hole. He's got 13 to lead the Eagles. 3 for 4 from the line for 75% last game, which is yesterday. Mackey was perfect at 5 for 5. 23-20, Hobbs down by 3, now 2 as he makes his second as well. He's made his last 4 free throws, now 14 for Mackey. 23-21, Hobbs down by 2. Quick pass it around the perimeter now as Aragon holds the basketball, throws it up top to Guest. Coming back to get on the right side is Griego, and on the near sideline off the pass to Olmstead, who just checked in. Sends it to the top of the arc to Guest. Over to left wing and driving to the corner. Spin move. Lost the ball. Did Griego. It sails out of bounds on the baseline, but I think an Eagle got a hand on it. Appeared to be good defense there by Caden Hall as he knocks it out of bounds. Los Lunas basketball on the right baseline. Inbounding his Guest. Tries to bounce it back door, but gets it off the butt of Vega, who is guarding his man that time, cutting the lane. Griego was trying to get the ball, and Vega gets a nice pop in the butt, and it goes out of bounds after that. The inbound back deep, top of the circle to Aragon. Sends it down to the left corner, stepping back, thinking about a three was Olmsted, decided against a tough defense by Pena. Returns up top to Griego, left side, fakes a tray, hippity hop move, left base, goes up double hand, push off the glass and scores. Inside the left block there, Griego now with 3 points. 5:08 left, third quarter, Eagles down by 4, 25-21, we're down by 1 at the half. Pena in the front court, hands off right to Mackey, up top to Vega. Slides it back over to Mackey on the right wing in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Gets a screen from Argot. Drives right baseline. Bad pass over the lane. And taken away for the Tigers by Guess for the Eagles' 15th turnover. Guess in the front court. Cradles goes down the lane. They're going to call the hold foul as he was about halfway through the lane that time. As they had Pena and Caden Hall stepping over to try to stop him to drive all the way to the hole. As they get the foul on Pena, his second, third team foul. Inbounding on the left baseline for the Los Lunas Tigers, Guess. He throws it back deep to Griego, drives the lane, spins at the free throw line, kicks it back to the right wing to Aragon, and back up top to reset to Olmsted. Swing it left side. Guess comes down the lane, spins at the free throw, fadeaway Jay, air ball underneath the hoop for the rebound, but stepping on the baseline was Braylon Vega. Good effort to get to the basketball, but didn't realize where his foot was.
Yeah, that's one of those you're better off just letting the ball go out of bounds, but he thought he had control of it.
Los Lunas basketball on the left base. The inbound man is Guess. High pass to the right wing, and coming down with it right in front of the referee right side is Olmsted. Cross court left to Griego. Takes a few dribbles, sends it back, and a drive down to the left side. Backs out against Caden Hall. Comes down the lane anyway. Leans and shoots. This one bounces off the back of the rim. No good. And pulled down by Payne underneath the hoop for his second rebound. Dribbles into the front court with 4:10 remaining in the third. Eagles down by 4. Unloads to Vega on the left wing. Back deep to Pena, top of the circle, and comes around the right side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Hands off to Mackey. Mackey up top to Vega. Back to Mackey on the right side. Fakes it three, but too much of a hippity hop, and he'll get a travel. As Coach Reeves reaches out, the referee almost fell into him that time, and as having to prop him up his coach. And that'll be, unfortunately, the 16th turnover for the Eagles. With 3:57 left in the third, the Eagles really hanging with this team, and they got some pretty potent players out there, Ron, and some experience with 7 seniors.
Yeah, they definitely do. The Tigers do, that is.
Tigers will get the inbound of the backcourt, bringing it across his Guess, going one-on-one against Pena. Fires the ball over to the left wing to Olmsted. Behind him on the left side to Griego, and back to get it at the timeline is Aragon. Sends it to the right side to Guest outside the perimeter. He'll back it out, guarded by Pena. Pena gets a strip on him for the 4th turnover. He's going to go to the rack himself with the lefty layup and scores with a scoop shot left side. Putting it down is Pena after the steal. His first bucket of the game, 25-23. We're down to a 2-point deficit. Tigers will come across with Olmsted. Sends it back to the timeline to Griego. To the left wing to Guest. Guest getting pressure by Pena. Back deep to the timeline to Olmsted. Lehman guarding him. Kicks it out to the right side to Aragon. Again up top of the circle to Guest as Tigers playing more tentative offense here late to the third quarter. Pass to the left wing to Olmsted. Takes a step, tries to dribble after that, and the travel. Eagles really getting in the gut and the chest of their opponents right now. Pena playing some tough pressure defense, causing that 5th Tiger turnover. And they only had 1 turnover at the half. There's already been 4 in this third quarter, Ron.
Yeah, they are throwing off the offense for the Tigers. That is, of course, the Hobbs Eagles with that big, tenacious D.
Hobbs basketball. Pena turned to dribble around the right side. He was going to hand it off to Lehman and then kept the dribble alive, but kind of flipped his arm over it. And the official said he took too many steps after that for the traveling violation. Hobbs now with their 17th turnover. 23. The Tigers by 2 with 2:50 remaining in the third. Coming across the timeline is Guest. Finds a man open left side for 3. Nobody getting a hand in his face. That's Griego nailing the 3-pointer for Los Lunas. That's their 3rd tray of the ball game. 28-23. Hobbs down by 5. Crossover move. Payne in the front court. He gets stripped as he tries to go up with a 3-shot. Yeah, it looks like that might be a 3-shot foul. We're going to have to wait and see. It was at the top of the arc. Guest will pick up his second personal, second team foul.
Yes.
We're going to see if they can say his foot was on the line. No, they're going to call it a 2-shot foul, and that'll be Pena to step up. All the free throws have been at the hands of Mackey in this game. He is 4 for 5 for 80%. Hobbs came in as a team at 53% on the line, a big improvement from the couple games before that. They were in the low 40s. First one is off, rolling off the rim for Pena. Hobbs shooting 53%, as I mentioned. Their opponents up through 4 games also at 53%, so kind of even out stat there. Eagles have been out rebounding their opponents 102-93. They've had 80 turnovers compared to 65 for their opponents, and Hobbs getting 22 three-pointers, opponents only 10. Second shot's up and good for Pena. He's got 3 points and went 1 of 2 from the line. Pena going to take a breather. Mackey on the court for him. Lehman will stay out there. Also on for the Eagles, Braylon Vega. Big man Parker Henderson's checked in, and also Caden Hall. 2:30 left, third quarter. Eagles down by 4. Hall will come across the time stripe. Gets a screen up top from Ordonez. Comes down the lane. Goes up strong with the left hand and gets it high up the board for 2. Holland now with 16. 24-30. Eagles down by 6. Clock to 2:15 left, third quarter. Mackey wants a clear out on the right wing. Gets a screen from Henderson. Pass up top to Hall. Hall looking around the lane, decides to hand off instead to Lehman. He turns and fires a 3 from the left side, and he nails it. Lehman, the junior, nails big tray on that one, as the Eagles have just converted on their 4th three-point shot of the ball game. 30-27, Eagles down by 3. Into the front court comes Griego. Throws it deep to Tafoya. Tafoya to the left wing. Stop and go dribble for Guest. One hands it to the right elbow to Griego. Comes down the left side of the lane with a reverse windmill layup left side and scores. Putting it down was Griego. That's going to be his 8th point of the game. 1:30 left in the third. 32-27. Tigers over the Eagles. Lehman on the right wing in front of the Hobbs bench. Screen from Hall. Kicks it up top to Henderson with the pivot. Waiting for somebody to come back and help him. Fakes the handoff to Mackey, who fell to the floor. And they're going to call an offensive foul, I believe. Mackey hit the floor hard and lost his footing there. Possibly that. Now I guess they called a travel on that one. Looked like Mackey got hit in the face, and then he took a tumble on the floor. Knee might have hyperextended. He's trying to work it out right now. The left leg, it appears to be. So that will go down as an Eagle turnover. And 1:20 left here in the third. 32-27 Los Lunas here in the semifinals of the Artesia tournament. Tigers will throw it to Holland on the right wing. He's going to back into Mackey. Out to the right, three-point shot. He's going to fade away. Air ball pulled down by Logan Tafoya. Holland is asking for a foul, but way late on that call. Down to the right corner to Guest. Guest will kick it out right wing to Griego. Over to Holland on the left side. He spins in the lane, trying to find a place to go. Goes between 2 defenders and throws the ball at the hole, kind of weaving through traffic and puts it through. 18 now for Holland to lead both teams. 45 seconds left in the third. Eagles down by 7. Mackey on the right wing, puts it up top to Argyle with a big pivot, throws the elbow a little bit to get his defender out of the way. To Hall on the top of the circle. Dribbles right, handed off to Lehman. He cradles, goes down the lane, shoots on the reverse left side, comes off the back of the rim though. Holland with his 4th rebound for the Tigers. One-on-one, beats the Eagles down the lane, kicks it to the right corner. 3 on the way for Guest off the left rim. It's no good. Going to battle the boards. It looks like a shove off by the Tigers, and the Eagles will be the beneficiary of that one as they call the foul on Juarez, his first, 3rd team foul. 34-27, Eagles down by 7 with 18.3 left here in the third. Trying to get the ball in from the baseline backcourt is Vega on the right side. Gets it into Lehman. Lehman's going to go one-on-one against the defender. Logan Tafoya beats him across the timeline. Top of the circle now, front court. Bounce pass to Mackey on the right wing. Stop and go dribble. Fades at the right elbow. Leans and shoots off the back of the rim. No good. Ball tipped up in the air. Loose in the left corner. Eagles get the rebound, but the buzzer expires the corner before they get a chance to shoot as Braylon Vega came down with it. We're at the end of 3 quarters of action here in the semifinals of the Artesia Tournament of Champions. Your Eagles trail Los Lunas in the semis 34-27. We'll come back in 60 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, the Hobbs Sports Channel. Clive, the Tournament of Champions in Artesia, as Los Lunas leads in the semis 34-27 over your Hobbs Eagles. Top scorer for Los Lunas in 3 quarters of play, Jalen Holland with 18, 8 for Galileo Griego, 4 for Gaston, 1 for Juarez. For your Hobbs Eagles, Michael Mackey leading with 14 points and 5 rebounds, 5 for Braylon Vega off a tray, 3 for Pena and Caleb Lehman, both Lehman getting a tray, Devon Marquez with 2. Eagles have been out-rebounded Los Lunas 20-17 through 3 quarters. They've had 18 turnovers, 5 for Los Lunas. Hobbs basketball here in the 4th. Top of the circle with it is Argot. Sends it over to the right wing to Lehman. Spots up a tray from the right side. Gets shoved in the chest as he throws up the shot. Ball sails off left of the rim, but they're going to get a 3-shot foul on this one, which will be the 4th on the Tigers. And Coach Julian having some words for the official on that one. Thought he might have bailed out Lehman. They'll call the foul on Isaiah Juarez, his 2nd. So 3 shots here for Lehman. Trying to get himself first free throw opportunity this ball game. Does have a tray in the contest. First one is off the back of the rim, no good. Hobbs has converted on 4 3-pointers in this game, 3 for Los Lunas. Now 2 more free throw opportunities here for Lehman. Mackey on the line in this game is 4 for 5. Pena 1 for 2. Lehman 0 for 1 now, and Pena 1 for 2. Second shot no good as well off the back of the rim.
It looked like it hit the same spot as it did the first time, so no adjustment on that one.
Coach Julian goes back to his bench and brings in Holland. Leads both teams with 18 points. One more shot here for Lehman. 3rd of 3 is up, and it is good. Got it. Lehman now with 4 points. 34-28. Hobbs down by 6 with 7:38 left, 4th quarter. Holland will bring it across. Mackey will slide with him. Top of the circle. Gets a screen up top from Griego. Holland to the right side of the paint. He'll pivot. Kicks it off to the right wing to Griego. Griego's going to pivot as well. Guarded by Pena to the left elbow. Spins. Coming down the right side of the lane. Reverse layup. Rejected in the air. Pena got a piece of it. Trying to pull it down as Argot knocked out of his hands. It will be Hobbs basketball on the baseline of the backcourt. Another sub for Los Lunas coming in is Justin Olmstead as he checks in for Holland. Holland's getting spotty time now. Comes out for a few seconds, goes back in after a few seconds, and now the Eagles basketball. 6-point deficit as Pena will come across the timeline. Backing up on him defensively is Griego. Gives it over to Lehman on the left wing. Up top to Argot. Swing it right to Pena in front of the Hobbs bench. Bounce pass to the Eagle at the right block. A fadeaway jumper by Hall off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound by Argot. Pass to the free throw line, and Pena nails the jumper. Argot's 5th rebound and Pena's 5th point of the ball game. 34-30. Los Lunas up by 4. Tigers at the top of the arc. Griego sends it to the left wing to Olmstead. Cross court right to Guest. Touch pass down to the right corner to Griego. Jab step against the defense of Hall. Spin move against Hall on the baseline. Turnaround jumper rolls around the rim and comes off the front. No good. Hall chases it down on the left sideline, and he'll get his 2nd rebound. Outlet to the time stripe to Mackey to bring it across. Mackey in the front court, going to slow it down with 6:25 remaining in the 4th. Hobbs down by 4. Unloads to Pena on the right wing. A screen from Argot gives to Hall on the left side of the arc. Hand off to Mackey. Kick it up top to Argot. Argot comes right in front of Coach Reeves on the right bench. Hand off to Lehman. Drives to the free throw line, down the lane. Wraparound pass underneath, and a shot taken by Argot. Slapped hard coming down over the top of him. And ball gets knocked out of bounds. Didn't even go up close to the rim, but they're going to call the foul. That will send Argot to the line. That is the 5th team foul against the Tigers. They'll charge that one to Tafoya, his 3rd. And 2 free throws now for Omar Argot, trying to get himself in the scoring book right now. He's yet to put any points in, but gets 2 freebies here. First shot is up, and it is good. A swish for Argot.
Very good. No laps for him so far.
In fact, that was his first free throw of the season. Mentioned the Eagles came in shooting 53% prior to this game. Second shot for Argot is up, and it is hard off the back of the rim, no good. Coming down with it on the left baseline is Holland, his 5th board. Fires it down court to the left corner. Stop and go dribble with Guest. Cross court right, a high one pulled down by Juarez, and back deep again to Holland. Swing it to the left side. 3 on the way for Guest. Off the side of the rim, no good. Pulled down to the right elbow by Hall. That's his 3rd board for the Eagles. Hand off to Pena. Here he comes with a quick dribble in the front court. Fires up a 3 from the right side off the front of the rim, no good. Ball's deflected, goes to the near sideline, and it'll go out of bounds. Argot tried to chase it down. He had a sprint going on along with Logan Tafoya. but it gets out before they have a chance to save it, and it will be Tiger basketball. Clock to 5:40 left here in the fourth. 34-31, Los Lunas by the tray. Lead has been as big as 7 here in the second half, but the Eagles will come back in it. Coming across with his time taken is Jalen Holland. Mackey will put the hand right to the hip of Holland, backs it out into the timeline, and then gives it off to the left side to Griego. Cross court right again to Juarez. Slings it back over to the left side to Aragon, well outside the arc, to the left sideline to Griego. Back to Holland at the top of the circle. Jump stop, shot from the right elbow. It's good. On the J for Holland, his 20th point of the ball game to lead both teams. And looks like we got a timeout. And Holland complaining at the official again. Every time he shoots, he thinks he's going to get a foul call, and not going to happen. 5:13 remaining, fourth quarter. Los Lunas 34, your Hobbs Eagles 31. We're coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Artesia, the Tournament of Champions, live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. After a timeout, the Eagles quickly in transition. A shot from Mackey, right corner, 15-footer, and puts it through the hole. Mackey with 16 points to lead the Eagles. 36-33, Los Lunas leads here at 4:58 remaining in the fourth. The semifinals coming to you live. Hippity hop down the lane is Holland, and he throws over the rim on the right side and puts it through. Holland with 22. 38-33, Eagles down by 5. Payne in the front court. On the right side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Stop and go dribble. Pop a shot from 10 on the right side. In and out, no good. Ball tipped top of the arc. Taken by Holland, his 6th rebound. 1-on-2, 1-2 and up on the right side reverse. No good off the back of the rim. Asking for another foul. Long rebound for Mackey, his 6th. Comes down the lane, 1-on-3, a spin move. Leads and shoots, double clutch, no good. Loose on the left baseline. Mackey comes down with it. And we've got some confusion out here. Whistle came from the sideline of the Hobbs Eagles. I'm not sure who they called this on. There's a foul call. Mackey got the board. That's his 7th. It looks like they got a hold against Los Lunas. That will be the 16th foul on the Tigers. And they'll charge that one, Isaiah Aragon, his first. Hobbs basketball on the left baseline. They're going to try to stop a little bit of the extracurricular. All the referees coming into the lane right now and telling everybody to just calm down just a bit, getting a little chippy out on the court. 38-33, Hobbs down by 5 with 4:24 remaining. On the left baseline is Vega, gets it in left corner, 18-footer, fade away, put it through the rack. Count it for Abraham Pena. He's got 7 points, 38-35. Eagles down by 3, it's getting closer, 4:10 remaining in the game. In the front court comes Holland, he'll slow it down. Gets a screen up top from Ordonez, fires up an NBA 3, in and out, no good. And a board by Caden Hall on the far right sideline, his 4th. Hand off to Pena, now in the front court, finds Mackey on the right wing, returns deep to Pena at the timeline. Clock to 3:55 remaining. On the right wing, gets a screen from Aragon, top of the arc. Gives it off, or Argon I should say, top of the arc to Hall, swing it left to Mackey. Mackey at the left elbow, stop and go, comes down the lane with the hippity hop to the rack, and throws it through the hole for 2 with the left hand. Michael Mackey back to back, he's got 18. 38-37, the Eagles down by 1, trying to get their first lead of the ball game, they get the ball back. On the left wing, Guest. Dribbles up top, correction, that's Aragon. Finds Holland on the right wing. He's going to spot up a tray and off the back of the rim. Rebound, though, on the right elbow, pulled down by Guest, his 3rd. Good chase down there. And dribbles to the near sideline. Guarded closely by Hall. Almost gets a strip. Guest makes a pass right, throws up a shot on the right side glass and scores. Ball stays in the cylinder on that one. And that was a great fake on the pass play. Got the Eagles' second guess in that one. Guest now with 6. Time out of the court. Eagles were just down by 1, but it's now 3. 3:14 remaining, 4th quarter. We're going to keep it right here as Los Lunas leads 40-37 over the Eagles. And Ron, I don't think Coach Shelby Reeves is too unhappy about what he's seeing out there. I mean, they had a kind of a slow start, but this team has come back, got a little physical out there. And tit for tat, and I think Los Lunas has taken some distance shots, not getting rebounds on them. It's kind of costing them a little bit out there.
They are. I mean, they're able. It's funny because they're able to drive the lane from time to time and be able to get some shots and make them look easy. But on the other hand, there are other players on the Tigers that seem to think that they need to make those long distance threes. And you're right, they're not making any rebounds either, which is a plus for the Hobbs Eagles. That's why they've got a couple of fast break points. Made this a close game. 3 points is what it is right now with 3:14. Hey, this is anybody's ball game at this point.
Eagles have outscored Los Lunas 10-6 here in the fourth quarter. So it's anybody's game, as you mentioned. Winner will play tomorrow for the championship. The time yet to be determined. It was normally set for 7 o'clock, but Artesia is going to get that slot, even though they're not in the winner's side of the bracket. We'll try to get you an update on that here as we continue. 40-37, Eagles down by 3 with 3:08 remaining. Mackey in the front court as he comes across against Guest. Gets a screen from Argot. Dribbles behind his back to the right elbow. Stutter step. Coming back to get it on the right wing is Vega off the pass. Hands it off up top to Pena. Pena at the timeline now. Guarding him is Tafoya. Eagles being very patient. And Tafoya gets in the way. Takes up a block and then almost gets a technical as he screams at the referee. Coach Julian shaking his head right now as Tafoya has just picked up a foul. That's his 4th and the 17th foul. Perfect timing for the Eagles to get the bonus situation as Pena will step up. Hobbs 7 of 12 from the charity stripe, 58%. As that'll give Pena a chance to knock the lead down to 2 or make it 1 if he gets both of them. Pena is 1 for 2 on the line, has 7 points and 2 rebounds. First shot is up and good for Pena. 40-38, Hobbs down by 2 with 2:48 remaining. And Coach Julian goes back to his bench to bring in Isaiah Aragon for Tafoya. Eagles will stick in the game with Vega, Mackey, Hall. Hall doing some great time in this second half as well, and Argot. Second shot for Pena, swishes it through, and he's got 9 points. 40-39, another timeout on the court. Going down to the wire here at Artesia, the Tournament of Champions. Live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. We're back in 30 seconds. Back here at the Tournament of Champions in Artesia, Ty Friend and Ron Gunner with you. 40-39 semifinal game. Los Lunas by 1 over the Hobbs Eagles. 2:48 remaining and 2 free throws critically put through by Pena to get it down to a 1-point deficit. Here comes the traditional man-to-man press defense, Ron.
Tigers have got to be feeling some deja vu after yesterday against the Cavemen. It seems to be the similar situation going on here in the court.
Yeah, Carlsbad defeated by Los Lunas by 1 point. The Eagles beat Rio Rancho by 1 point. Boy, things just going, like you said, carbon copy so far in this tournament. 2:38 remaining. Coming across the timeline is Guest. Spin move as he goes down the lane through Pena. Kickoff to the left wing to Aragon. Aragon spins down the lane with a jumper off the back of the rim and a rebound for the Hobbs Eagles. Caden Hall, his 5th board. Hobbs could take the first lead of the game with 2:20 remaining. Slowing it down is Pena. Big comeback for the Eagles. In the front court, hands off to Mackey at the timeline. Winner will play for the championship tomorrow. Screen up top from Hall. Mackey, hippity-hop, down the lane, leads and shoots it off the glass, left side, count it. 20 points for Michael Mackey, and a 1-point Eagle lead, their first lead of the ball game. 2 minutes remaining in the front court. Holland, NBA 3, it swishes it from major distance. Then he shows the crowd his big 3 fingers out there. Boy, he's got a little bit of an ego on the court. 25 for Holland, 43-41, Los Lunas by 2. In the front court, Pena with the crossover to the left elbow. He fires up a J and he nails it right over the top of the defender that time. Abraham Pena puts it through. He's got 11, second leading scorer for Hobbs. We are tied at 43, 1:30 remaining. In the front court, Guest on the top of the arc, drives the left elbow, down the lane, leans and shoots to the sidewinder, hook off the right glass and puts it through. Guest got 8 points. Here comes Pena, down by 2, 45-43, 120 left. Stop and go. Top of the arc, just inside the three-point line. A little bit of a force that time. It goes low underneath the hoop and out of bounds. Probably not the shot that you wanted. Coach Ross out there slapping his hands together and say, make sure you're patient with the basketball. Hobbs got to play some D now as they trail by 2 with 1:16 remaining. On the baseline to inbound for the Tigers, Logan Tafoya underneath the hoop. And we got a whistle as the inbound came in. Looks like Coach Julian didn't like the setup defensively and calls a timeout for his Tigers. They have to beat the press. They don't want to give the ball up to the Hobbs Eagles. It's like blood in the water on this full court pressure. Ron, we didn't mention this, but earlier today I was surprised, a double-digit win as Rio Rancho blasting Carlsbad. I mean, Carlsbad only got beat by 1 point to this Los Lunas team, and then a double-digit win. I can't figure that one out because Carlsbad's a pretty darn good team.
Well, as we always say, this is the reason why you play the games, is because just because you get the numbers line up on the paper doesn't mean that's exactly how it's going to go on the court. You know, I think it was just mainly Rio Rancho was just kind of getting a little frustrated. They had plenty of chances to win yesterday. Could not pull the trigger as far as getting the upset over the Hobbs Eagles. So they had to take it out on the Carlsbad Cavemen. You know, you got to play when you're playing, and they definitely saw some opportunities against the Carlsbad Cavemen.
Yeah, that Perez kid for Carlsbad yesterday in a losing cause by 1. He had 24 points to lead the Cavemen in that game. So he definitely was a scoring threat. But again, so they're going to they were already in the consolation bracket. They're going to the bottom of the bracket there with the 2 losses. But probably one of the better teams at the tournament. But of course, the Eagles have a chance to see Carlsbad in a couple of months there as the district will open up. Of course, Los Lunas is the team the Eagles are facing right now. And the other bracket, Deming, is playing tonight against Fort Sumner for the semifinals, too. Fort Sumner upset Artesia yesterday. 45-43. Eagle pressure defense. The ball comes in the left corner in the hands of Guest, guarded by the Eagles defender, Caden Hall. Crossover move. Guest is going to go strong across the timeline now, dribbling behind his back, top of the arc. Sends it off to the right wing and gets it back at the timeline. Hall right on top of him, had a hand on the basketball, and they call the reach foul. So that'll be called on Hall, his second. Only the 14th foul. Eagles have really tailed off on those fouls from the first half and just played some more aggressive defense, not getting too sloppy with it. 2-point Los Lunas lead with 1:02 remaining. The inbound of the backcourt to Holland. Of course, he leads both teams with 25 points. Guarded by Mackey, who's been playing pretty good D on him. Chest to chest. Holland with a stop and go. Slings it down to the left corner to Juarez. Top of the left wing to Guest. He'll back it out to the timeline with 48. Coach Julian says to spread it out. Guest top of the circle. Bounce pass right. Almost got away from Tafoya. Guarded closely by Vega. Pass off to the left wing. Holding it is Griego. Or correction, that was Guest. Another reach foul called on the Eagles. I think Pena got him that time. That's a third on Pena. And the 15th foul. Actually, yeah, that should be Pena. They look like the scoreboard. They put up 50, Caden Hall, but maybe they haven't changed it from the last foul. 39 seconds remaining. That's the third on Pena. Inbound of the backcourt to Holland. And then a hand in his chest by Mackey picks up another foul. Mackey now with 2, and now there's 6 team fouls against the Eagles. And I'm not sure if they wanted so many fouls back-to-back like that. Now one of the referees that called it is bringing over the other refs to the table for some reason. Not sure what they're talking about out here. Well, it isn't the 7th foul. We know that much. It is Los Lunas basketball near the time stripe. The inbound of the backcourt almost lost the ball. Did Jalen Holland, or make that Logan Tafoya. Then he got converged on by 2 Eagle defenders in the foul call. Charged it to Braylon Vega, his second, 17th foul. So now Los Lunas will get free throws, and I'm not quite sure if you wanted to burn off so many fouls with this much time left in the fourth quarter.
No, but you know, on the other hand, the Tigers, they were set to waste as much time as they could off that clock, and so I think they had to foul to stop the clock, get the possession back for the Eagles.
5 of 8 for 62% off the front of the rim, no good. Ball loose on the floor, and we got a big battle for it, and I believe Los Lunas gets a timeout. Nice decision there to make a timeout call flat on his butt, Logan Tafoya, and he did not want to get the ball ripped away from him, but the missed free throw makes them 5 of 9 on the line for the night so far. And they do get the ball back, though. It should be on the baseline because the timeout was called in the middle of the paint. Just under a minute remaining here in the semifinals. The Tournament of Champions live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Exclusive coverage. And hopefully we'll get an update on what time the game will be tomorrow, depending on whether it's the championship or for third place. Of course, we want to do the championship game, don't we, Ron?
Exactly. We certainly do, even if we have to fight tooth and nail to get on the air. You know, we have the 3-1 advantage for Hobbs over Los Lunas. The one time they did lose was during a playoff game a few years back. But other than that, they've been pretty tough against Los Lunas tonight, though. This could be coming down to the wire. It has been so far. It's a 2-point game, and Hobbs needs to play safe, needs to play smart, and definitely no turnovers during this last less than a minute.
And after this game, one more game tomorrow. Of course, we mentioned the final game of the Tournament of Champions here in Artesia. But the Eagles will not have another contest until December 16th, and that will be against Oregon Mountain. So that's a home game at Task Arena. Also the 17th, the day after that, a Friday-Saturday affair against Mayfield. That'll be afternoon at 3:30. But, again, that's a long layoff. We're talking 13 days.
14.
Yeah. 14 days total before the next game, either home or away. Los Lunas basketball on the right baseline underneath the hoop. Get it into the left wing to Guest. And it looks like we got a whistle on that far sideline left. They call a hold foul against Hobbs. That'll be the 18th foul. Los Lunas 5 of 9 for the charity stripe. Drop below 60% now. Is on the line will be Guest. He's yet to shoot a free throw. Does have 8 points. 2-point lead for the Tigers over the Eagles with 31.4 left in the fourth. First free throw's up. It's good. And he'll get one more. Boy, a big battle going on right side of the paint as Argot going toe-to-toe with Galileo Griego. Major bodying up going on. Get on that right side of the paint. Second shot for Guest is up, and no good off the back of the rim. Ripping it down hard as Argot, his sixth rebound. Outlet to Mackey with 25 seconds remaining. A 3-point lead for Los Lunas. In the front court is Mackey, and a timeout called by the Eagles. We'll keep it right here. Of course, Hobbs, the champion of this tournament last year. They beat Los Alamos by double digits. Also went back and beat them in January at Task Arena. A little bit lesser margin in that one, but this Los Lunas team has got those 7 seniors losing in the quarterfinals last year in the state tournament, so they had a bad taste in their mouth. And this kid, the sophomore, Holland, again, we talked about this in the pregame show, basically a kid that he's already had some looks at some major colleges, Ohio State, Texas Tech. Of course, he can't sign a letter of intent yet. He's just a sophomore, but he's got 2 more years as a Tiger. Definitely is going to be mostly the nucleus of this team. He likes to shoot the ball. I mean, you can miss a three-pointer and get the ball back a second later and fire up another one, so he's not scared to do that.
Right.
But definitely been a test for the Eagles. But Hobbs shown some very good resilience with these very close ball games and come back and play another tough one right after that.
Yeah, and they didn't have any practice time, or very little practice time, if any, from the yesterday's game. They had a lot of mistakes they had to overcome. They have had less mistakes to overcome today. It is a very close, a very tight game. 3 points is the difference. If Hobbs doesn't need a three-pointer right away, but if they can get maybe a score and a foul, maybe they'll get back into it and maybe even take possession and take some momentum off this too.
Both teams are in the bonus. 8 fouls against the Eagles, 7 against Los Lunas, so there'll be free throws on either basket if needed. Hobbs has it in their front court, down by 3 with 23 seconds remaining. Inbound to the backcourt to Mackey. Mackey will bring it across as he's picked up on defense by Guest. Gets a screen on the right side by Holland. Drives the lane with a nice scoop over the rim. It's no good. Long rebound for Holland, his 7th of the ball game. Gives a pass off the near side to Griego in the backcourt and is fouled. They'll call the foul on Hall, his 3rd and the 19th foul. Mackey tried to scoop over the rim, and the ball just came off the back somehow. Might have turned his wrist at the last second there. And that will send Griego to the other stripe to shoot the 101 bonus.
Yeah, it looked good, but he may have been just a little too hot coming in, and like you said, it just missed the back of the rim.
That's the 4th foul on Hall as we get the free throw from Griego. Bounces off the back of the iron, no good, and the Eagles have another shot with 5 seconds. The rebound by Pena, his 3rd. He tries to throw it to the far sideline. It's knocked out off the hands of Guest. Eagles have one last breath of fresh air to hopefully win this ball game. Coach Reeves calls a timeout.
Yes.
Whoa. Hobbs almost with a turnover to end the ball game. And notice the turnovers are really cut down here in the second half. They have a total of 18, but a majority of those coming in the first half of play.
Yeah, they just weren't able to get, for some reason, they were losing the ball in the first half, but the second half they've been able to control that tempo, also control their turnovers, lack thereof, that is. And that has helped them as far as keeping them in the game. Going to see if they can do something very special as far as this time around. I said before they didn't need a three-pointer. Now they need a three-pointer. They want a three-pointer plus a foul. If they get 4 points and they can make that extra point, then they could actually come out to the victory of this.
Eagles have 4 3-pointers in the game, a couple by Mackey back in the first quarter. Braylon Vega came off the bench for one as well, and Caleb Lehman hit one for the Eagles. So 3 different players with those 4 trays. Of course, if you're going to shoot a tray and you have to tie it up here, it's 46-43. I think you have to lean into your defender a bit, because if you don't make it, at least see if that referee's going to bite on a foul call. Maybe you can get 3 free throws.
Do you think it's going to be Pena?
Well, he could be a good possibility there. Of course, Mackey's on the court, too. Mackey's got 2 3-pointers in this game, as we mentioned. Hobbs basketball near the scores table on the far right side. Getting it in will be Vega. He's going to almost have to do it quickly with the pass into Pena at the right wing. Lost the ball, tried to throw it to Mackey, who fumbles it out of bounds. It looked like he was going to drive it to the hole, and Pena thought about it and said, wait, I've got to get 3 points here, and then tried to pass in the last second over to Mackey. Mackey tried to lunge out for it at the right baseline, but the ball was thrown way too hard, and that's a turnover for the Eagles, unfortunately. It will be Los Lunas basketball, timeout called. Yeah, I think he saw the gap going to the hole on the right side and was like, oh boy, wide open layup, but that's not going to win a ball game. And then he said, oh, I better throw it, and then he just lost control of it and shoved it.
Right.
And it went to the right baseline, and Mackey was more in the right corner that time and could not come back to get it quick enough.
It sounds like his eyes got too big. Of course, they weren't going to, guard the paint. They were guarding the perimeter, so that way if you did the 2, it wouldn't really count as much. He did lose his mind for a second. I've done that before, where you forget where you're at, what you're doing, and then before you realize it, you try to do something, correct it, and instead it just makes it worse, compounds it.
Yeah, Los Lunas had that gap on the right side of the paint, so, it was kind of like, hey, that's an easy play. And in regular part of the game, that would have been an easy layup, no questions asked. But, again, circumstances change a lot of stuff, and these are high school players. They're not paid $1 million contracts.
Exactly.
They're kind of reacting to the moment. So, Eagles got to play some D here. I wouldn't even be surprised they try to foul before the inbound, because the time's not going to be to their benefit to get the ball back to be able to score. It's 0.5, so not much of a shot opportunity here.
Exactly. Catch and shoot is basically all it is. Even then, you may not have enough time.
Yep. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen here. If they go with a intentional foul, but that would be 2 free throws and the ball back, so that doesn't help you either if you do that to Los Lunas by slapping them out of bounds or holding them right here before the inbound. Left baseline inbound coming for Los Lunas from Griego. Throws it high to Holland. He'll come down with it in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench on the left sideline. And that is the ball game as the clock runs out here in Artesia. So the Los Lunas Tigers will go on to this championship of this tournament as they win 46-43 over Hobbs. And they will play tomorrow either against Deming or Fort Sumner. Yeah, Fort Sumner with an upset yesterday against Artesia. And then came and beat Alamogordo today as well. So that's a big team to show some stuff here, playing up against upper division teams. Again, final score, 46-43 in favor of Los Lunas. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with a Hobbs Eagle postgame show on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. back live at the Tournament of Champions here in Artesia. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Sorry for the delay. We were trying to check up on to see what time the game would be tomorrow for the Hobbs Eagles for third place. Originally set on the brackets for 4 o'clock, but since the Artesia clubs get to have the late games, they have to rearrange the whole schedule. So there's been no confirmation yet. Artesia still has games tonight, so we don't really know where they're going to be sitting in the brackets to move their games to. So unfortunately, we're thinking it's going to be about 1 o'clock. That has not been confirmed yet. We've had a lot of trying to get discussion with the AD, and they're kind of just leaving it up in the air at this point. So that's the plan possibly for the game tomorrow. Just be listening to our No Mark broadcasting stations, and we will get the word out as best we can. Also a little bit of, we'll do something on Facebook to get the info out. Just check out our Facebook pages at Cole 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, a couple other Facebook pages as well. We'll have that information up for you. Looking at the numbers in this game today, the win for Los Lunas as they get the 1-point victory or 3-point victory over the Eagles, 46-43 for the semis. Jalen Holland, the top scorer for the Tigers, with 25 points. He went 3 of 4 from the charity stripe and had a tray in the game and was the leading rebounder for Los Lunas with 7. Behind him, way behind, is Ezra Guest with 9 points. He went 1 of 1 from the line and 3 rebounds. Galio Griego with 8 points in the contest. He was 1 of 3 from the charity stripe and had 5 rebounds. So those are the top 3 scorers. Logan Tafoya ended up with 3. He went 0 for 1 on the line with 2 rebounds. And Isaiah Juarez was 1 for 2 with 4 rebounds. In terms of free throws, Los Lunas 6 of 11 for 54%. They had only 5 turnovers in the game, played some real clean basketball offensively. 3 3-pointers in the game for the Tigers and had 21 rebounds. We just were informed that the Hobbs Eagles will play at 4 o'clock tomorrow. That's the way the bracket was set originally. Hobbs will play at 4 o'clock. We just talked to the director of officials that puts in all the referees for the games. He just checked with somebody and got an official word on that. So the bracket is as is for the Eagles for the third place game. The championship will be at a different time for Fort Sumner. He's the winner. They beat Alamogordo in the semis today. Fort Sumner will play Los Lunas for the championship of the tournament. Let's look at the Hobbs Eagle numbers now. Michael Mackey, another big game for him, 20-plus as usual. 20 points exactly in this game for Hobbs. He was 2 of 3 from the line and also had a couple of trays and 7 rebounds. Top rebounder too, Ron. I mean, this kid is doing a lot. He brought the team back in the first quarter. They were down early by about 7 points, and he scored 2 3-pointers in the first quarter and had 9 just in the first quarter alone.
Yeah, it looked like from the very beginning, it looked like he was playing with purpose, and we like to see that. He had some great shots at the beginning. Didn't fade away during the whole game as he has been in the past, so I like to see that more often as well.
Abraham Pena down with 11 points in the books tonight. He was 3 for 4 on the line and also had three rebounds for the Eagles' cause. Those are the 2 double-digit scores, Mackey and Pena. Then it was Braylon Vega coming off the bench. The freshman hit 5. He had 1 tray in the contest. Caleb Lehman had 4 points, was 1 of 3 from the line, including a tray. Omar Argot hit a point on a 1 for 2 free throw attempt. And I believe that's one more. Devon Marquez finishing with the bucket for 2 points and 2 rebounds. That was a total of 6 scores in the books for the Eagles. They were 9 of 14 from the charity stripe for 64%. Out-rebounded Los Lunas 29-21. Of course, we mentioned Mackey was 7, 6 for Omar Argot, and 5 for Caden Hall. So lots of guys getting the boards in this one. The big blemish in terms of stats, and it's happened in a few games this year, although the Eagles did pull out wins with more turnovers, but 19 tonight compared to just 5 for Los Lunas. That has to be the difference in this ball game. It's a very close game, though. Yeah,
it was the last couple of minutes. There was a couple of turnovers, key turnovers, that could have cost the Hobbs Eagles at least chances of trying to get some baskets in, some valuable baskets that could have made this either a tie game or maybe even a slight edge for the Hobbs Eagles.
So those are the numbers of the game. Of course, the Eagles, with the loss, go to 3-2 on the season, and Los Lunas is now 4-0. They beat a couple of Farmington teams. They also, of course, won yesterday against Carlsbad in the win here against the Eagles. But Hobbs will get a payback coming in January.
They certainly will. They're going to be definitely maybe on the road, but still they're going to be a little more secure about how they feel about each other, a little more in sync with each other, and also on the same page. So, yes, I'm looking forward to that one. But right now, of course, we're still in Artesia. Going to be coming back tomorrow and seeing we get that third place wrapped up.
And the winner of that game is for third, as you mentioned. It will be Alamogordo. Fort Sumner knocked him off earlier today. Fort Sumner with 2-0 record so far, the lowest division team here at the tournament. In fact, they were a last-minute add-on. They had a team had to bail out of the tournament, a higher division team. They called Fort Sumner, oh, yeah, we'll take a slot. And now they're in the championship game. So Alamogordo is the team the Eagles will face. Used to be in their district. Another black and gold looking team, and one the Eagles have pretty good success over the last few years against.
Yeah, and it's fortunate we couldn't play them, but we are going to be playing a really good Alamogordo team. So either way, tomorrow we're going to see more key pieces go in. Coach was talking about the fact that he'd like to see more of his team become better scorers, and so far we're seeing that slowly. Maybe not as quickly as some of the faithful fans are wanting to see. However, it is happening, and this is when you want to do it. You want to build up momentum early in the season so that way you get more chemistry for the whole team.
Final score once again tonight, 46-43. Los Lunas winning the semis over the Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs plays tomorrow once again, 4 o'clock start time against Alamogordo. We'll have the pregame show at 3:45 here at HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports Channel. For Rod Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, hope you have a great rest of a Friday out there, and we'll have you on Saturday tomorrow for that big third-place game. Have a good one out there.
Go Eagles.